is the liquid of life. We all need it to survive. Water, choose water first. Water, we all know it is precious. Should be enjoyed by all of us. Talking about water, choose water first. Water.
On Water Wednesdays this week, we are talking about outages that you've been seeing in three parishes mainly in recent time. First up is St. Thomas. Of course, there have been some issues at the Shop Hill Reservoir, and to tell me a bit more about how the Barbados Water Authority is responding, we have the General Manager of the Barbados Water Authority, Keithroy Halliday. Mr. Halliday, the residents have been crying out because of the outages. What can you tell us about what is happening there and the response?
The Shop Hill Reservoir is one that feeds a very large community, St. Thomas and the surrounding districts. The demand in the Shop Hill area is extremely high, so much so that we actually have 6 feeds going into Shop Hill. And when we talk about feeds, we're talking about where water is produced and how it is sent into Shop Hill. What we are seeking to do to address part of that issue right now is to get additional pumps installed, particularly at the Lodge Hill Reservoir, which would allow us to send additional water into Shop Hill. And that's been supported by the fact that we have had an expansion at the Ionics Spring Garden plant, and therefore we're getting additional water flowing through St. Stephen's going into Lodge Hill, and that would allow us in turn to send additional water into Shop Hill. It is regrettable that we weren't able to get it done in the last 2 weeks. There were some shipping delays, but we can confirm that that particular pump is in the port and it should be installed very shortly. Outside of that, we recognize that because of the demand on a year-round basis, that we will always have a challenge with the Shop Hill supply. And if you recall, even when we spoke earlier, when we were at the estimates, we had indicated that the only way we can really resolve part of this issue is through the expansion program at Ionics, which will see another 50 million gallons of water being produced daily. And that will assist us in supplying water to the Shop Hill area, sending water further down to the west coast, and sending water further up through Lancaster, Apes, and into Casa Grande. So that is where we are at the moment.
Now, residents of St. Joseph, we haven't forgotten you. Of course, there were those nightly shutoffs, and you can continue to go to our Facebook page to get updates on that. What is the situation in St. Joseph? And I know that they were doing the nightly shutoffs to build back capacity in the systems that supply water there. How has that been working?
This has been working well, in the sense that because of the nightly shutoffs, we have been able to preserve, or rather reserve, water for the higher elevations. But we've actually approached this challenge in maybe about 3 or 4 different ways. Apart from the nightly shutoffs, we would have installed the booster station at Bushy Park, and that in turn would have supplied water to the Bowmanston system, to the Golden Ridge system, and then therefore to the Casa Grande system. We've also done the nightly shutoffs as we've just indicated, and we've been managing very carefully the production levels for Sweet Vale, and the boreholes to be able to supply the Golden Ridge. And now with the expansion at Ionics, as we get those means installed so that will supply additional water, we'll see water going through Apes Hill into the Casa Grande as well. The St. Joseph area is hilly, and there are no access points for water necessarily for the production of water necessarily in that area, apart from the boreholes that we've just mentioned. And these are the 3 or 4 ways we're looking to enhance the water supply in the St. Joseph area. With respect to the nightly shutoffs in St. Lucie, we have seen some success, and that has impacted positively on our ability to supply water to the elevated areas such as Boscobel. On the first night, we were able to see an increase in levels from 4 feet to 14 feet, and this is exactly what we wanted to achieve. We have to maintain that water balance, and this is the point that we've made to everyone, and we are happy that everyone is working with us, because we need to sometimes take this kind of activity. It's not drastic, it's just about making sure that everyone gets some measure of supply.
Okay, well, we will continue to update you about the progress in this regard right here on Water Wednesdays. We want to thank you so much, Mr. Halliday. To view this or a previous episode again, please visit our website, www.barbadoswaterauthority.com. Please also go to our Facebook page for those consistent updates, or just type Water Wednesdays in YouTube. You can find us there.